Alright, what's going on? Welcome back to a new YouTube video, guys. Today I'm going to be breaking down exactly how I caught this break-even trade right here on NQ, and also how just about my rules and patience and how I blew a few accounts over more than a few accounts over the past few weeks, and like today I blew some accounts, and how I'm just uh, finding it difficult. To be disciplined and just take a minimal amount of trades, 1 to 3 trades per week. But we'll get into that after I show the trade recording. All right, so I halfway passed these 5 sets of combines here. But before we get into the trade breakdown, I'm just going to go to my top step dashboard and show all the accounts I have blown. So show closed accounts. So these are um, my active accounts, and then I reset a bunch of accounts. Yeah, over the past few days. So this is just one page, and this is within the last 5 days. These are just reset accounts. These are all the resets right here. If I go to, I wonder if there's more on the next page. Um, yeah, this is another one on the next page. And before that, that was my express that I blew in 7 days, which is pretty insane. I'm not gonna lie. So just full transparency there. And then, but let's just jump right in. So, what did I see coming into the day? So, um, I first noticed this daily power of three we had. So currently we are trading all-time highs, and we have been trading with minimal retraces for about 20% and 4,600 points on the NASDAQ, which is concerning. I do want to see a large retrace on the daily time frame. We have got some on the 4 hour and the 1 hour. But the daily is especially where I want to see retrace, because you have all these unfilled gaps. Also, the weekly, if you look at the weekly, there's not a single rebalance. We have an unfilled weekly gap down here, so I potentially want to see us come down there. We're still another 500 points away. Um, so coming into the day, when I saw that we had this daily SMT, we had an open high, and right there, see how um, on ES, the daily candle took the previous daily candle high, and yesterday's daily candle was a doji candle. We opened up this daily gap. Coming to market open, we were trading around here. We were disrespecting the daily gap, and I saw that we had this new week opening gap, this no wick daily candle. I think it's a no wick, right? It is a no wick daily. See, if you look at the open and the low up at the top of the screen around here, after I'm on this candle, it's the same open, same all. So there's zero printed wick there. So it's a daily devil's mark, and that can act as a very strong draw on liquidity. So after seeing that daily power of three, the open high, SMT, and then displacement, I wanted to see that get hit. And jumping down to the hourly, we had displaced overnight pretty aggressively, or coming into pre-market around 7 o'clock, we started displacing, and we began retracing coming into open. Coming into open, we were inside of this. This is also the NWAG. I just want to make that clear. And here, where is it on? ES had already tapped it. If you look at the same daily candle, and ES already put in a wick, but I'm not really going to consider that an SMT. I don't consider that very strong, because it's such a strong draw on liquidity for NQ to take. So I just wanted to see it taken anyways. And considering the bearish order flow down below, there was really no reason for us to reverse off that, and there really were no draws higher, because once we displaced, we rebalanced, we displaced more. We left this breakaway gap, displaced more, break past this low, and now we're trading inside of this hourly gap. So there's no draws left higher until we hit the main objective. And so coming into the day, I saw this internal low that we left behind as we were trading inside of this 1 hour gap. And with the idea that we have our overall external draw, which is the daily new week opening gap, and the or it's actually a new week opening gap. This is a new day opening gap. And the internal low, I wanted to see that get hit. But I did notice that we were a bit overextended. So if I just draw this range, we were down here. I wanted to see maybe like 50% of this range get hit, because we hadn't had a significant rebalance in a minute. The last significant rebalance was here up to this high. And then we didn't rebalance this for value up here. We just put it in up close candle, and we came down here. So if we could rebalance to 50% of this range or this range, that would be pretty nice. If you notice that OTE of the smaller range and OTE of, 50% of this rebalanced range are the same. So that would be a pretty nice spot to retrace to. Let me just draw that back. So that simply was just what I wanted to see coming into open. So I'll just go over quickly the trades I took. So that was the general idea, but 929, we swept out this high, this internal high, as well as ES. ES also swept out the internal high, and we started displacing lower at 930. I took an initial setup after we rebalanced this large candle. I took it off of this wick rejection and put my stop at the fill of their fair value gap. And I was targeting the NWOG down here. I mainly took this trade because I like how we mitigated the internal high inside the 1 hour gap. Tapped the 1 hour gap. We had strong displacement. I didn't think we were going to come up to this fair value gap, and even if we did, I didn't think it was going to retrace deeply. Maybe it was going to come up to the very top of this candle and then reject. So I viewed my stop as protected there. But the issue with this trade was the 930 candle. First of all, it's right at 930. And the 929 candle is the candle that manipulated, and it wasn't the 930 candle that manipulated. And I've taken similar trades like this before, but typically it's the 930 candle that manipulates this high and not the 929 candle. And the significance with that is 930 tends to manipulate, especially with the 30-minute power of 3 if you trade that. And then we can see our distribution lower. But I was basically caught in the manipulation move. Since if I show you what the 30-minute, well, I can't really show you what the 30-minute candle looked like, but you can picture it. It had no wick at the top. It's just this tiny wick, and it came down here. So that was the mistake with this trade. I should have, if I was going to take this trade, I should have waited for us to pull back into this fair value gap and get another reaction displacement from it in order to take that trade, in order to validate it more. But sort of entering this trade like this with getting faked out by the 929 manipulation instead of the 930 manipulation was a mistake on my part. If this was instead the 930 candle, and this was the 931 candle, that would have been a much, much better trade, and I don't think that would have got stopped out, and I think we definitely would have delivered there. But as you can see, we put in the 30-minute power of 3, and we tapped these 5-minute gaps, put in that wick, and printed higher. And then we finally got what I wanted to see. So I was not engaging in this market at all because I did not see any draws higher, and I'm not really one to take a trade to 50% of the range because I view it as a point where I want to see a reaction from and not a point where I want to take a trade to, or I don't view it as a draw in liquidity unless it's very, very high time frame and there's already a draw in liquidity next to it. I can pair those two and I can view the draw in liquidity. Maybe it's a swing high, equal lows, whatever, anything like that. Then it can make it stronger. But since there was really nothing here, we were kind of trading in this hourly gap. I wasn't going to take a trade to it. I was instead going to see if we came up to it, reacted from it, and then go from there. And that can give me more conviction in my setup. So we traded to it. So this is OTE of the smaller range and then 50% of the larger range. So it's a pretty optimal area. We come up, we put in this SMT, see, NQ takes the high, ES does not. And I'm waiting for any significant reaction or any confirmation that we're going to continue going lower to this draw, to my overall draw, which was, higher time frame or bullish. And I want to align the external model, which is this higher time frame, we rebalance sell to the draw with the internal model. Okay, so I don't want to get caught in a trade, which I did earlier while we are still printing this body. I want to take the trade that tells me that we're going to put in this wick on the hourly and then continue going lower. See how we put in the wick, then we open high at 10 a.m., go lower. That's the type of trade that I want to get in. So I see we put in this SMT. So I'm very confident in this setup. And I've gotten burned taking 30-second setups before, but I like that I had a clear break-even point. See here. So we displace on the 30-second. If I can. We open up this for value gap. We reject from it. I'm waiting for just a little bit more displacement. And I think I entered somewhere around here. Stop at this high. And then I was only going for, my full target would have been here. Or maybe I entered somewhere around here. Somewhere around here. And I was only going for the consistency on the evals, but the full target would have been here. And my break even was going to be this 5-minute gap, which is right there, which is just this internal low. But I felt like I had entered a bit too late for that to be my break even point. And if my draw was correct, I didn't think there's no reason for us to go higher. We have the alignment with the higher time frame model. We started to print the wick on the hourly. Okay, we started putting in this wick. We tapped 50%. We had SMT. This high should be protected. So I wanted to see us go a little bit deeper into this 1-minute gap. So maybe 50%, which was around here, this 1-minute gap. And then I could go break even. So after we did that, I went break even and we started displacing lower. And at this point, my break even stop is protected. Actually, where did I go? No, I think I remember my break even being like around here. So yeah, at this point, my break even is protected by 2 for value gaps here, and we're running through the 5-minute gap. So I want to see this hold, but ultimately don't. We end up coming up, and we actually end up disrespecting this gap. But the 10 a.m. candle, if you look at the 10 a.m., we open high, and we come into this range, tap 0.79 of the range, and then begin selling lower again. And throughout this price action, throughout that break even, I ended up blowing a few more accounts. I think I blew some accounts over here as well. I'm not entirely sure. It's kind of like a blur of a day. I'm not gonna lie. But this trade did end up playing out. Unfortunate break even. But all in all, it was a pretty rough day, and I just want to talk about that. So I've been struggling a lot with like uh alignment, and self-identity, patience, and discipline on the charts. Um, I I'm constantly consuming content and getting a whole bunch of differing and various opinions from multiple different sources. Um, and I can feel that impacting my day-to-day life and my alignment with my goals and the path and the kind of person I want to be. And that's also affecting uh, how I'm performing on the charts. Um, like I have a whole bunch of goals set out for myself, but I'm constantly searching online for other people's opinions, what they do, what they don't do, and that leads to stagnation and complacency uh, in my life. And that's like the way that impacts my trading is I'm not confident in my trading, um, like as much as I should be, and I'm not taking the right trades, and I'm not being patient. Like I'm trading literally every day. I don't remember the last time I had a no trade day, and there's plenty of no trade that should have been no trade days within those days, I'm sure. Um, but I just haven't been doing that. I've just been taking way too many trades. I haven't been being disciplined. Um, I haven't been following my rules. Like I blew those XFAs in 7 days because I traded literally every single one of those days. And yes, I had proper risk management, but the discipline wasn't there. The patience wasn't there. I wasn't um, just only taking the highest quality trades. And that led to the downfall of that. And that was an opportunity that I could have had to, take only the highest probability setups to learn and grow and, see a little bit of success and let's see a little bit of consistency. But um, I feel like I want things now as well, and that's also impacting my trading. Um, but like I want things now, but I'm not using um that as a reason to be as a reason to be urgent to follow my rules and be patient and everything. I'm using that as a reason to um try and rush the process. But at this point, I've pretty much had it. With the amount of counts I've blown. Um, I realize I need to get it together if I'm going to see any sort of consistency. If I'm going to meet my goals. And it's never too late to lock in. I've wasted the better part or basically all of this year um, just doodling around. Pretty much, I haven't been taking my goals seriously. I I haven't been following my rules. I've basically been having a mental crisis every single day, like every time when I wake up. And today is probably the best I've felt. Like I need to take accountability. I need to be honest with myself. I need to be consistent, and like hopefully it's up from here. But that's if it's up from here is fully dependent on me and the way I act.